Thanks for joining us today, everyone. I'm Constable Braylon Hagan with the Lethbridge Police Service, and I serve as the LETR Operations Committee as the Provincial Director. Thought it'd be appropriate still to recognize some of our athletes and our volunteers that have gone above and beyond to further the mission of the law enforcement torch run for Special Olympics. Before we begin, I want to acknowledge that the land we are situated on is the traditional territories of the people of Treaty 6 and the homeland of the Métis Nation of Alberta. So today we're gathered, a few less than normal, just so we could abide by the COVID restrictions, and want to celebrate two volunteers that have put in exceptional efforts to ensure Special Olympics athletes have access to sports and programs that they love. At this time, I want to ask the Chair of the Executive Council, Alberta Sheriff's Chief Lee Newton, to come up and give greetings on behalf of the Executive.
Good morning. I'm so pleased to be joining you here today on behalf of the Executive Council to celebrate the incredible accomplishments of two individuals that have positively impacted law enforcement torch run and Special Olympics Alberta. We are very fortunate to have so many individuals that put in extra effort and positively contributed to LETR. In a year riddled with challenges, we are very grateful to be able to celebrate two LETR volunteers that have been able to persevere, continuing to put in many hours helping with virtual fundraising, events and promoting our cause through any means possible. We are so fortunate to have the support of individuals like you. Congratulations to our 2020 Provincial Award recipients. We are honoured to be able to recognise your achievements.
I want you to please now welcome CEO of Special Olympics Alberta, Johnny Byrne.
Thank you very much for having me here today. It is, as Braylon has said, this has been a very challenging year for law enforcement torch run for Special Olympics Alberta, and taking the time to celebrate is more important than ever. So we are very lucky to be surrounded by, empowered by people like we're recognizing here today that make what we do possible. And it's been almost a year since we've been able to gather together, but to still see the strength of that bond, even though it's been that time, I think that really shows you who your true friends are and who your true partners are. And so I'm thrilled to be here today. Thank you for allowing me to be part of this and celebrate some amazing people.
Our first award recipient has been an extremely active LETR volunteer for over 6 years. He has volunteered hundreds of hours at events throughout his region. Not only is this volunteer incredibly active within his region, but also provincially and nationally. While representing his region at the provincial level, our recipient sits on various committees. He has sat on the planning committee for 2 kickoff conferences, the selection committee for international conferences, and took part in the 2017 Alberta Summer Games and 2019 Alberta Winter Games final leg, where he could be seen cheering on athletes and proudly presenting medals. In 2016, we were proud to send him to the National Games in Newfoundland to represent Alberta as part of the National Torch Run. This year's recipient of the Community Service Award is a consistent advocate for Special Olympics and LETR within his agency and the community he serves. He often coordinates RCMP and Strathcona agency members to play sports against his local athletes. He also can be found coordinating law enforcement send-off and escorts for his athletes, attending provincial and national games. He is an incredible advocate for individuals with intellectual disabilities and furthering the mission of law enforcement. I'm extremely honored to introduce the recipient of the 2020 Alberta Law Enforcement Torch Run Community Service Award. Not only is he an incredible member of our committee, but he's also a friend. Please join me in congratulating Steve Schmidt, or as the athletes say, Officer Steve, as this year's recipient. Our next award recipient has been an active Special Olympics athlete for 10 years. In the summer, he can be found on the ball field at third base or bringing in the runs, and in the winters, he's on the lanes at the bowling alley or at the walking track. He's also always a good sport and a great teammate. For the past 6 years, he has been extremely active with law enforcement torch run events in the community and the province. He has spent countless hours collecting donations outside Walmart Free for Our Finest, serving up pizza with the Camrose Police Service for Pops and Pizzas, cycling, running, and walking for the virtual summer series, and cheering on the police team in the Battle of the Badges. He has raised over $7,000 in 2 years doing the polar plunge, which is amazing for an athlete award. Please join me in congratulating Justin Sittler.
So that concludes our ceremony for today. And I want to, again, just my appreciation for both of you for what you do for LETR and for Special Olympics here in Alberta. We couldn't do it without you, and we look forward to next year where we're going to do it in person, right? So we'll be sitting at a banquet and enjoying everybody's company. Thank you for coming on today, guys.